Amen. 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 A writer once wrote, he said, the opposite of faith is not doubt. The opposite of faith is unbelief. Doubt only needs more facts. Have you ever been going through something and you don't know how it's going to turn out? And as you go through it, then you start seeing God in the midst and you say, Lord, I see you now. You don't see it in the beginning. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, Lord, I see what you're doing now. So doubt is not the opposite of faith. Doubt sometimes is when you don't have all the answers, when you don't see the end of something. Doubt is just sometimes when you just, human reasoning comes in and you don't understand something and you just need a little bit more facts. And so whether you grew up as a believer or you came to know Jesus later on in life, you may have a crisis of faith. I've been there, done that. At some point in your life, you're going to go through that. This is generally a very painful part of your life. You start questioning God. You start saying, Lord, I don't understand this. And sometimes you may think that you're losing your faith. John 16:33. And then I want you to see what Jesus says in verse 31. And Jesus answered them, he says, do you now believe? Indeed, the hour is coming, yes, has now come, that you will be scattered, each to his own, and will leave me alone. How many of you got hit so hard sometimes that all you see is the natural? You can't see the spiritual. It's like Peter when Jesus was going to the cross and he said, God forbid, this is never going to happen to you. And Jesus said, get thee behind me, Satan. He wasn't calling Peter Satan, but he said, you are mindful of the things of the flesh, and you're not mindful of the things of the kingdom. You're not mindful of spiritual things. I don't know if you've ever been hit so hard that you can't see the spiritual right away. How many ever been through this kind of stuff? That's what I'm talking about today. As these things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. He says, but in the world you will have tribulations. But be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. I want you to hear that very clear, that in him you will have peace. But in this world that you live in, it's very clear that you will have tribulations. Now the question is, how do you respond when you have these tribulations?